You adulterous people, do you not know that friendship with the world is enmity with God? Therefore, whoever wishes to be a friend of the world makes himself an enemy of God. James chapter 4, verse 4. James says by seeking friendship with the world, we are committing spiritual adultery. And being friends with the world puts us in a position of being hostile to God. We don't see in the book of James that his audience were openly disclaiming God and consciously deciding to follow the world instead, but their tendency to follow the patterns of the world shows how their hearts were far from God. For example, by discriminating people in the first passage of chapter 2, by speaking evil things about others also in the first passage of chapter 3. And from our previous passage, they were exhibiting bitter envy, selfish ambition, and pursuing their own evil pleasures. And this tells just how they were in love with the world and hostile to God. James wants his readers to see their compromising conduct for what it really is. God tolerates no rival. When believers behave in a worldly manner, they demonstrate that their allegiance is to the world rather than to God. It's a terrifying verse, being called adulterers and enemies of God for not obeying Him. 1 John 2:15 says, "Do not love the world or the things in the world. If anyone loves the world, the love of the Father is not in him." Being a Christian does not somehow make us immune to the temptations of this world. We know that James is writing to a Christian audience. I would like to point to the story of Demas in the Bible. Demas at one time been one of Paul's fellow workers in the gospel ministry along with Luke, but he departed from faith in love with the world. Paul says in Colossians 4:14, "Luke, the beloved physician, greets you, as does Demas." And writing to Timothy, he says in 2 Timothy 4:10 and 11, "For Demas, in love with this present world, has deserted me. Luke alone is with me." And nowhere in the Bible we read of Demas's restoration. This should be of a serious concern for us, so we don't end up like Demas but be like Luke. The tragedy of Demas is still being lived out today by those who choose the temporary benefits of this world over the eternal riches of heaven. From the parable of the sower, we read about the seed sown among thorns. Matthew 13:22 says, "As for what was sown among thorns, this is the one who hears the word, but the cares of this world and the deceitfulness of riches choke the word, and it proves unfruitful." Have a blessed day.